Okay, folks, I'd like to get started. It is a few minutes after 7 o'clock. Okay, good evening. My name is Andy Crisafulli. I'm Athletic Director here at Joseph Case High School, and I'd like to welcome you to the Spring Athletic Awards Banquet. I'd like to send a special thank you out to all of our parents and guardians for your continued support of not only our school, but our athletic program. Due to the hard work of both our student athletes and coaches, the 2017-2018 sports program saw its most successful athletic year over the last 25 years. There were many individual and team accomplishments, and I'll open this program by sharing a few. Over 500 student athletes participated over 3 athletic seasons, which is the largest number we have had in the last 7 years. 84% of our teams qualified for state tournament competition, which is up over 50% from the previous school year. We hosted our first state tournament football game since 1992. For the first time in school history, our boys soccer team defeated Somerset Berkeley for the Cabral Cup. Our female and male track and field student athletes broke numerous school records while establishing conference dominance in many events in both the winter and the spring. We had the first ever boys basketball MVP in the South Coast Conference. That same individual broke the 1,000-point mark, which is the first time since the 1970s, along with setting a new school record in career points. And our boys tennis team won the first SEC gold title in conference history. All of those accomplishments are few of the many during our athletic year. But more impressive than our athletic accomplishments, the many student athletes that represent Joseph Case High School in numerous clubs. They are honor roll students. Several of them are members of the National Honor Society. We consistently see many of our student athletes competing for top 10 positions in their respective class rank. We are very proud of the well-rounded individuals our student athletes develop into. Now, to assist me with tonight's banquet are the many dedicated coaches that are sitting behind me who will be introduced as their sport is called to present. On their behalf, I would like to thank the following individuals for their contributions to a successful athletic program. First, our building principal, Brian McCann, who had a family matter that he's not able to be here tonight. Our assistant principal, Mr. Chris Costa, who I believe is here in attendance. Athletic trainer, Russ Boardman. Friends of the Cardinals for their support and organization of our traditional potluck supper. And I'd like to take a moment to recognize Kelly Plant, who is our Friends of the Cardinals president, who is stepping down at the end of this month, and her board members. And we'd also like to recognize our new Friends of the Cardinals president, Shannon Silva. We have a lengthy program this evening, and you can follow along using the paper itinerary, which I hope everyone had the chance to get at the door. In addition to the listed awards, we'll also be announcing and awarding the male and female athletes of the year. Now let's get started with our first presenter of this evening, our unified track coach, Heather St. Ives.
Hi, I would like to start by thanking Mr. McCann, Mr. Costa, and Mr. Crisafulli for their continued support of the unified track team. I would also like to thank all the parents and fans who traveled to all the meets to support the team. I'm extremely grateful for the team of assistant coaches I was blessed with this season. Mr. Singletary, Mrs. Chase, Mrs. Cadero, Ms. Dawson, and Samantha Borges all contributed so much to the success of this season and allowed me to maintain my sanity. Each one of them helped to support the athletes and keep things running smoothly. Without them, I honestly don't know what I would have done, so thank you. This is our second year of Unified Track. There's been tremendous growth within the program here at Case and in the state of Massachusetts. Our season begins with 4 meets, and then we compete in the Southeast Sectional, where athletes can qualify for the state meet. In our first 4 meets, everyone's able to compete in 2 track and field events. Then in sectionals, they have to choose 1 in each. This allows the athletes to take risks and experience different events. In the first meet, we had some extra time during the long jump Jack Furtado decided he wanted to try it out, and he moved faster running for the long jump than he did for the 100 meter. Others were inspired to try it as well. This is awesome to see, and I'm very proud of the risk-taking on this team. Seth Thomas pushed himself further this year. He would only do the running events, wouldn't even step in the grass, and this year he tried all the field events. During our second meet, we discovered our relay team for the season. Amanda Levesque, Jessica Santos, Alex Raposo, and Mackenzie Green got our first and only relay win. In year 2, knowing what to expect and knowing the routines of practices and meets allowed us to really focus on improving skills. Jack went from dropping the javelin a foot in front of him to throwing it 7 feet towards Katie. Mr. Singletary likes to say he increased his throw by 700%. We also learned that having him as a target out there increased everyone's throws. Seth improved his running time by not stopping during the race anymore and working on his running technique. He also improved his javelin distance. Victoria Ferry is a fan favorite at every school we go to, with her unique routine before her long jump and waving to the crowd during the 100 meter. She had her best race at the state meet, cutting back on the waving and focusing on the running. Cage Davis, we didn't lose him, might be the most laid-back athlete I've ever coached. He improved by doubling his throwing distance in the javelin. Jessica Santos is a fierce competitor, always giving it her all. She ran the 400 and the relay for us all season. She cut almost a whole minute off of her time in the 400, and she earned first place in her tier at the sectional. She also greatly improved her throwing distance and shot put. Ali Cadero was a great addition to the team. As a partner, she not only supported her team, but worked hard to set an example and improve her performance. She won first place in both the 100 meter and long jump. She also finished 4th in the 100 at the state meet against 30 other schools. At the sectional meet, the team blew me away with how well they did. We had 11 athletes there, and I think they all got personal best that day. Altogether, they earned 11 first, 5 second, and 3 third place ribbons, and got second place at the South Coast sectional, and everybody qualified for the state meet in at least one event. So, as you can probably tell, awards were difficult. We discussed them as a team, and I'd like to start with our own. We don't have the SEC awards, so we made our own All-Star and Sportsmanship because we feel like these two ladies need to be recognized. And the awards were designed by Sam. So our first is the All-Star Award. It goes to a freshman who showed up every day, ready to give 100%. I was thrilled when she showed up and was interested in the longer distances. We decided on the 400 meter, and she was in the top tier for that event. She earned 3rd place against some very quick boys at the sectional. She was also impressive in the long jump, adding a couple feet to her distance. She earned 1st place in the sectional and qualified for states. In the state meet, she not only had her best jump of the season, but that jump earned her the only individual state championship medal for Case this season. Her talents went beyond running and jumping. She shocked us all when she volunteered on the spot to sing the national anthem at the sectional meet. Amanda was one of our most competitive athletes and also a supportive teammate. Congratulations, Amanda Levesque. Our next award is for, Our next award is for sportsmanship. Good sportsmanship has always been very important to me as an athlete, coach, and fan. One of the great things about coaching unified sports is that the focus and really the purpose is to be inclusive and encouraging to others. This award goes to someone who brought more to the team than I think she realizes. She was quietly supportive and positive. She was a great role model due to her calm and happy demeanor. She also improved her javelin significantly during the season, earning first place. Despite running not being her favorite thing, she also placed second in the 100 meter at sectionals. She is a true pleasure to have on the team. Congratulations, Rylan Costa. Okay, our first coach's award goes to another athlete whose sportsmanship goes above and beyond expectations. She always has a positive attitude, and you really can't help but smile when she's around. She knows no boundaries with her enthusiasm to cheer for everyone, whether they're from Case or not. I have the pleasure of being greeted by her every morning, and it is one of my favorite parts of the day. As an athlete, she is willing to try everything. It's actually harder to get her to focus on just one or two events. However, she did that this season and improved in both. Abby earned 2 first-place ribbons at sectionals in the 100 meter and long jump, qualifying for states. She also placed at states in the long jump. She brings sunshine and encouragement to every practice and meet. We all love having her around. Abigail Boudry. The next coach's award goes to someone I've known since I entered the 6th grade. I was very happy when she joined the team last year. She has shown dedication and commitment by being willing to rearrange her schedule in order to make every practice and meet. She is very coachable and has significantly improved in both her events as well. She's one of our fastest runners in the 100. She also runs the relay and does the long jump. Her biggest lesson was to stop slowing down right before the finish line. This made a significant difference and helped her earn a first-place ribbon and qualify for states in the 100 meter. Mackenzie is a great teammate and always helpful. Congratulations, Mackenzie Green. Finally, the MVP award goes to one of our most enthusiastic, positive, and hardworking student athletes. He is ready to do any event and always gives 100%. He takes pride in being part of this team. He impressively ran the 400 meter and took about half a minute off his time this season. He also threw javelin and shot put, increasing both distances. He earned first place in shot put and second in the 400 at the sectionals. He also qualified for states again this year. Alex is very well known throughout these halls, and his high fives will be missed. He is a supportive teammate to everyone, and I'm proud of how much he's improved. We'll all miss you next year. Alex Raposo. Congratulations to all the other athletes and teams, and good luck to the softball team on Friday night.
Thank you, Ms. St. Ives. Our next presenter, our second presenter this evening, is our girls' tennis coach, Dustin DuPont.
Good evening, and as always, you all look, what's that word, supercalifragilistic, that thing. Congratulations on all your accomplishments this year and this season. I'd like to thank the Friends of the Cardinals, Mr. Crisafulli, the school and district administration, along with the town employees who make this all possible. I'd also like to thank Mr. Boardman and all the local newspapers, and a very special thanks goes out to the parents who raised these exceptional athletes. As the girls' tennis team continued to build its program, new players that joined were Ashley Carvalho, Amber Aruda, Amra Paradiso, Emma Heilburn, Natasha Malone, Emily Graham, and Eva Michaels. These young ladies transformed their skill from the beginning of the season to a level that I don't think they imagined. There's no doubt that they will continue to improve. Jamie Travis, Shaylee Ollerhead, and Kaylin Beaupre were contenders for varsity playing time, with Shaylee ultimately earning her letter this season. As a matter of fact, second doubles saw the likes of Shaylee, Jamie, along with Michaela Bushel and Kyla Zora. While there may not have been a victory for the whole team this season, doubles teams certainly earned their own. An aspect of doubles tennis that contributes to a team's success is the chemistry between partners. These next two young ladies were more than just all-stars in their chemistry classes. Their chemistry made them all-stars on the tennis court. Their communication and strategizing made them an exciting team to watch. This is a pair that never gave up on anything. A coach could easily entrust them with getting the job done. Courtney Jacobson and Kristen Anselmo are great listeners, teammates, players, and just truly wonderful people. I proudly ask the two of you to come up and receive your coaches' awards at this time. Kristen, you're welcome. Courtney, you're welcome. So those two girls display excellent sportsmanship, and it spreads to the rest of the team. Sophomore Sophia Miranda was assigned the task of playing third singles this season. While this position can be overwhelming, even frustrating at times, she always kept her composure. She played with respect for herself, her team, and her opponents. Sophia gives everyone the benefit of the doubt, and even I could learn that lesson from her. Courteous and polite, Miss Miranda, you've earned this SEC Sportsmanship Certificate. Congratulations. You're welcome. I could keep talking about sportsmanship since Case was a contender for the team certificate. Ultimately, that award went to another deserving school. The league also had its hands full this season choosing all-stars because of all the talent and competition. As for honorable mention, I'd like to mention how honored I am to honor Olivia Thompson, who's not here tonight. A recent graduate who demonstrates how hard work pays off, Olivia was a co-captain and second singles player. From tie breaks to 3-set matches, she did it all this season. May tennis continue to be a part of her life, like she has been a part of this program. Congratulations, Olivia. All right, for the last part of my speech, I'd like to start by quoting a song. It goes like this. This right here for the number one. Every match, seriously, every match, your teammates played their hearts out trying to win for you, Haley. Now I'm going to pour my heart out. No, but I recall when your high school tennis season started, and I even recall before that, when we first had the original conversation, you were still a student at the junior high, and you were actually watching your sister play on the high school tennis team. You were in between whether you'd like to join softball or tennis, but then spring of 2015 introduced a brand new Armberg to the team. I knew that you were special, that you were possibly the future of Case girls tennis, and you became that future. You did amazing. But I'm at such a loss because I've always wanted to do so much more for you. I could have been more helpful at times you needed to refocus during a match. I could have cheered more, clapped more, and even smiled more. And while this isn't about me, I never wanted to be a professional tennis instructor so bad before this, your senior year. For falling short as your coach, I apologize. Thank you for leading this team as a captain and fighting as hard as you did at the most competitive spot, first singles. Congratulations for making honorable mention, and I've named you this season's MVP, Most Valuable Player. Congratulations. Have a good evening and good luck softball.
Thank you, Coach. As Coach DePon alluded to with varsity letters, in preseason meetings, each one of our varsity coaches establishes a criteria of what a student athlete has to achieve or accomplish in order to earn a varsity letter. And those varsity letters are with the coaches, and each individual who does win a varsity letter gets a letter and also gets a pin to go along with it. So at the very end or the conclusion of tonight, we're going to be distributing those varsity letters. And while it's fresh on my mind, normally we take our pictures of all our winners of awards in our gymnasium. Unfortunately, we have a couple of capital improvement projects going on, one being flooring in the weight room, and the gymnasium will be off limits for tonight. So we're actually going to have to take those pictures right up here in front on the ground in front of the podium. I know it's a little bit inconvenient, but again, we've been asked to stay out of that facility. Okay, moving to our third presenter is our boys tennis coach, Dave Raynone.
Last year I said the better our record gets, the shorter my speeches get. This is going to be probably my shortest in 20 years here. You don't have to hide behind lots of fancy words and talk about what everybody got out of the sport. We're just going to stand on our record tonight. This is a group I've had, except maybe one or two kids, I've had them all for 4 years. And this is the year they've been working towards in the past 4 years. So who would have thunk that this group of kids 4 years later, as seniors, would be the undefeated champion of the SEC Gold Division? They qualified for the state tournament for the third straight year. They ended up with an SEC regular season record of 12-2. And in the state South Sectionals, we barely missed defeating Cohasset 2-3. We were missing one of our best players. I don't know if it made a difference, but it was such a close match. And also, Will Kennedy and Mac DeShane competed in their third straight individual state tournament. That was fantastic. Go ahead, you can give them a round of applause because that's a tremendous accomplishment. So in the end, guys, we experienced the finest season of Case boys tennis in over 20 years. So congratulate yourselves on your accomplishment. You should be very, very proud of what you did this year. Honest to God, what a tremendous year. The season I knew we'd be pretty good. We were hoping to be good. We're supposed to be a little bit better since this was our 4th year, but the season just sort of crept up on us. I'd call the scores to Fall River Herald News, and they'd ask, what's your record? You're saying, well, 2-1, 4-1, 8-1, 12-2, and you didn't even realize that. We used to look at teams like that and say, those are the teams you want to be. I mean, how could you have to, who can be 12-2? And all of a sudden, we got that way. It just sort of crept up on us. It was an amazing thing. I got to say, obviously, it's the most enjoyable year I've had coaching in the last 20 or 20-something years here because we won, finally. I've had a lot of fine years with a lot of great kids. I've had kids that reached the 3rd round of the South Sectionals before in doubles tennis. This year we're exceptionally strong. We're strong from first singles to second doubles. And that's on a team where, we struggle to get players at the school. We're not traditionally great at tennis here. So I hope we didn't have a weak spot on the team. So I hope you guys understand your place in Case tennis this year because we really did have a season to remember. And I guess to put a cherry out, we even beat Somerset 5 of the 7 times we played them during the 4 years. I know you wanted to hear that. That doesn't leave the building. Let me go over the seniors. We had a bunch of them, but I'm going to go really fast. Eli Geldard, he played #1 singles for 3 years. He's the 2nd most competitive player I've ever had. I had one in 1981 who was he was a little over the top competitive. You wouldn't want to be like Blake Jones. You had the heart of a lion. You're out there. You anchored the team. You had 11 wins. So tonight, we're going to recognize Eli for his outstanding playing by receiving 2 awards. He was all SCC, and he's also the team MVP. Hi, brother. Can I say, Eli, always imitated, never duplicated, Eli. Mike Azevedo struggled a little bit last year, replacing Eli as #1. He's much more comfortable playing #2 and successful this year. He's got the best looking strokes in the league, bar none. Every coach says that. And his highlight was he dominated his opponent in the South Sectionals against Cohasset easily. Mike had 10 wins. I might have forgotten to say Eli had 11 wins also. I don't believe Mike is here tonight. 3rd singles player, senior Tyler Abdallah. For the past 2 years, he's been one of the big keys winning at 3rd singles. A lot of times his matches have been the deciding ones over his career. He's known for his gentlemanly nature out there. We have to beg him to call a ball out. But he has a fierce desire to win. I know that because when things aren't going good, you can see that on Tyler's face. Tyler had 10 wins this year, barely lost to Cohasset in 3 sets. And his award tonight is SCC Honorable Mention. We're moving along. Congratulations. At first doubles, we had the team of Will Kenyon and Mac DeShane. They were the 2nd best doubles team in the SCC by far. The only match they lost was to Old Rochester, and seriously, no one's going to beat them in southeastern Massachusetts. Will sort of slices you up gently. He sort of kills you with 1,000 little paper cuts. You don't even notice it. Mac owns the most powerful overhead in the league. Sort of intimidates you once Once in a while, he hits the other opponent. They had 12 wins this year, and they're going to be honored tonight by being named to the All-SEC team. Way to go, Matt. Will, way to go, buddy. Second doubles, it was Darren Allahead and a whole bunch of people. It's Brad Martell, Ben Silveria, Mike Bisbano. It didn't make much difference. Darren's team usually won. You know, if you have a good second doubles team in this league, you got a chance to do a lot of damage. And we had, I think we had the second best doubles team. Again, only Old Rochester was a little bit better. So all those three other guys teamed up with Darren to be to lead their way to 11 wins. So tonight we have an award, actually two awards. One goes to Darren Allahead, honorable mention, All-Star. Oh, I'm sorry. We also have the Coaches Award for Darren, too. Sorry about that. We're not used to winning so many awards. Just to mention, we had other seniors on the team, though. Brandon Cavallo, Jacob Antill, Ethan Hicks won a couple of JV matches. That was amazing. Yeah, he did have fun, and that was his goal. That was his goal. I want to thank Russ Boardman, Principal McCann, Mr. Costa, my AD, Andy Christofoli did a heck of a job rescheduling all the matches due to weather cancellations. My closing thoughts would be, I want to give a special thanks to the parents who've been incredibly supportive of their kids and myself. They've been amazing. They travel all the faraway matches, the ones down in Bourne where it's freezing, and you can't find the courts. Old Rochester, everywhere you go, everywhere we travel, they're there, and especially the home meets. It's just been amazing to have them show up in the past 4 years. If you know them, if you went to school with them like I did, if you had them in school as students like I have, or you just became friends with them, you can understand why the kids achieve so much on the court and in school and will in life. So thank you, parents. I'll miss you dearly next year. If you're not doing anything at 3 o'clock on Tuesdays and Thursdays, come on down and see the next team. And just to tell you, I just want to throw this in just to show you that we're not just a tennis machine here in Swansea, but I just recently found out that 2 of our graduates, former members of the team, just got distinguished academic honors. Cody Zigmont just became a nurse's practitioner that we had a few years ago. A.J. Cavallo, who graduated Harvard University, was on the crew team there, just received his Juris Doctor degree. So we're not just a tennis winning machine here. It's been quite a ride for the past 4 years. These 4 years are going to be something to remember the rest of your life, guys. And in the end, that's why you join the team. So you have these kind of moments and think about them 10, 15, and 20 years later. I'll miss the tennis family. I'll miss your families. I know you're going to continue with your schooling, so good luck. We'll welcome you back. If Eli wants to come back and work with some of our kids, I know you do, come on back. And think of me trying to find players next year to help out Henning Anderson, who's our only leftover returning player. Thank you, guys. One heck of a year.
All right, thank you. Our next presenter this evening is and he's going to actually be presenting to the 2 teams that he's head coach of both the boys and girls outdoor track and field, Bob Mitchell.
All right, thank you very much. I had a lively discussion with the AD about how long I should take on this speech, and I've been bribed to go shorter and longer. A round of applause if you want it to be longer. Quite, all right. All right. Round of applause if you have somewhere to go tonight and you'd like me to be shorter. Sure you heard the same thing, longer one. Excellent. All right, I'm not going to give in to a little pressure from Mr. Christofoli. If you have any complaints, just send it to achristofoli@swanseaschool.org. It won't be the only hate mail he gets that day. I try and send him one nasty email a day. This makes me feel better. I'd like to thank everyone who helped the team this year. The boys had a very good season. I really want to thank the seniors, in particular Noah Coy, Paul Souza, and Kyle Kohler. When I took over, they were sophomores. And I probably should have told you this at the beginning. When you take over a new team, the freshmen, they're new. They don't really know. Juniors and seniors say, this isn't how we used to do things. The sophomores buy in. And they bought into my vision and everything I had to offer, and I think we had success because of that. So I'll never forget what you guys did for the program. We used to be a team of sprinters, hurdlers. We had some good distance runners who've been up on the stage as well. Oh, yeah, and we had a few throwers. Now our throwers are recognized at the state level. And really quickly, I'm going to get into the awards because we won so many of them. We went to the state relays, and if you don't know track, you're not going to know what I'm talking about. There's about 40 teams there. And our boy throwers, 3 guys were in the relays, they won. Let's see if I get it right, guys. The discus, the shot, and got 3rd in the javelin. So in 3 events, the other 40 teams only had 2 teams that could beat them in one event. And they crushed people in the other events. I think you won the discus by 37 feet. The next argument is, that's great. What division you in? Division 4. If you look at all the divisions, they were 5th overall in the state. All right, we got to get to the awards really quickly because I went to the South Coast Conference meet. We had a good season record-wise. We had some great individual performers, and we walked away with 7 awards. I think, there's some large schools that had better records than us. They got fewer awards than us. I'm going to start with Austin. I did forget because he's rushing me. I got to thank my coaches. Mark Fairchild, he's new. He's caught the coaching bug. He's doing 2 seasons. He's going to pick up possibly a 3rd season. He's been a great addition to the track family. And the legendary Jay Ashley has turned our program of throwers into something that's casual. They really get respect at the state level. When we go to state meets, as soon as we show up, the other teams know they're in for a really bad day. All right, sportsmanship, the first one, he's just professional. He's fought through injuries. He's a hard worker. He's someone that he was so honored to be a captain. He works to earn it each and every day. He runs the 2 mile. If you don't know running, it's not fun. I don't know why anyone would want to do that. Especially excruciating at the state meet. He's someone I can always count on. I was so happy he qualified for the state meet. And I can't say enough about how dependable he is. If anyone's hiring, I would hire this kid if he applied for a job in a second. Austin Michael, come on up. And a shout out to his dad, who does a lot for the team behind the scenes. All right, we're going to jump around. Let's get to SEC honorable mention. You guys, I just have like 4 pages for 2 teams. I print really small, get comfortable. The next person, I think he had a disappointing season. I never had a disagreement with him, but this might be our first. He was invaluable to the team, and I don't know if he realized it. He was our top 200 runner last year, and he came in and he did very well in the 200. If you ask him right now, he says, I wish I had some faster times. However, on that javelin team at the state level, he was part of that elite javelin team. When Noah Coit was injured, he picked up the 100 for us. When Kyle Cole was unavailable, he jumped in the triple jump because we needed to have someone in there. We're not going to give away points, and he won it. He's a conference level, nearly state level long jumper as well. And track, you run in circles a lot, right? You run in the hallways. If you're on the team, maybe it's fun. It doesn't always look like fun. And one thing I learned from coaching Aiden Silva, you always need someone on the team that makes it fun. and brother Chris certainly does that. Come on up, Chris. All right, as I look, I'm going very blind. I'm looking for my good friends. No Casado here. I don't see him. He's the other SEC honorable mention. He's a hard worker in the weight room. Everyone knows that. He's placed in the state meet in the shot put. He's a serious competitor. Always takes responsibility for his actions. He's a young man that really impresses me. One day I went over, let's be at practice, let's be on time. I gave that speech my team likes to hear so much. And he showed up a few minutes late, but I wasn't upset because he was soaking wet. It was pouring rain. He didn't have a ride, and he ran there. No Casado, I expect him to break the school record indoors next year. So he's not here, but let's give it up for Noah Casado, SEC honorable mention. All right, I'm going to go right to the Coaches Award. I think this young man is in the same category as Chris Costa. I don't think he realizes how valuable he is to the team. On that day when we dominated the state relays, he participated in the shot and the discus. He runs relays when we need him. He's willing to help me out anytime at all. And the throws, we have a lot of throws that might have placed high in individual state meets. Without him, we would not be talking about the throws having the best day the throws have ever had in the history of the school. And he gladly runs the 4x1. When we put him in the 4x1, often we're short, we don't have someone, and I put him in really bad situations. I put him in against ankle leg, fastest guys, and he just smiles and gets out there and does it, even if he has to borrow someone's spikes to do it. Come on up, Ty Kudo. And he only got that because he finally returned his jersey today. Dylan, don't laugh. All right. Now I think if I'm doing things halfway right, we're on to the SEC All Conference Awards. The first young man, he was okay for the first date that was set for this thing and the second date, but he's not around now. But I see his dad, Cliff, up there, so later, Cliff, I'll give you the award. Kyle Cole was automatic SEC selection as he won the long jump. He's a top hurdler in school history. He owns every record. And when you break a school record, I'll go over it more as we go along. It means you're the best person at your event that ever walked these hallways. You guys have broken so many school records, we just say it in passing very casually. When we go maybe 10, 15 years without touching some of your records, I think we'll appreciate it even more. He may be the top point scorer, boys point scorer in the history of the school. At the SECs, the team did well. We got 60 points. He got 24 of them. What I always liked about Kyle, as good as he was, any coaching points I gave him, he accepted right away and worked to be a better athlete. So just give it up for Kyle Cole, and we'll go to the next one. All right, what I like about the track team, when they come up, they look surprised. And if the kids are really good and they think they deserve an award, and if I gave it to someone else, they'd be just as happy. I don't know why that happens in track, but it's awesome. Because this next person, he's been up here, oh my God, for every award you can imagine this year. He was the prom king as well. And I think he's surprised to get an award. Everyone knows him, knows how good he is, but he should share this award with Russ Boardman. It's a miracle we got him through the season. He's a jumper, a sprint, he does everything. On every relay record we've set in last year's, which is every single sprint record, he's been a part of it, so I consider him to be the face of the track team. But he's surprised. He's saying, I can only run so many races. How did I get this? It's not from me. It's from the coaches around the league. He got second with all his injuries and him not being able to practice. When he couldn't practice, he'd go through hurdles, mark out the damaged ones, do whatever he could to help the team. But he runs big. In the biggest moments, he got second at the SECs. When I say someone got second, there's 9 other teams. That means all 9 other teams had one person that could beat them. If you don't know how fast, I'm not going to say times. Football, man, all the best players you've seen play us over the years, he beats them in the 100. He beats them all. The only person that beat him was from New Bedford Vulcan. He missed the meet indoors, that kid, because he was running on TV, and he's been nationally ranked. So as a person I may be the most indebted to on the entire team, come on up, Noah. All right, 2 more awards to go, and I am moving along quickly, but blame the boys track team, because there's no way I walked into that conference meeting and thought I was getting 7 awards. And we got 4 all-conference awards, SEC All-Stars, and I only get 1 vote. So again, you can thank me, but it's the other coaches that do most of the picking. The next person, very talented thrower. It gets tough at the end of the year, senior year. You're going to college, you got other things going on, seniors get out early. And this kid, he's a role model for other people. He did his senior year the right way. Everyone knows him, what a great discus thrower he is, and it kind of overshadows what a good shot putter he is. We're a little disappointed. He didn't make the All-State meet, and not disappointed in him. The field was unbelievable. He got 7th place. If he was a higher division, he would have got 2nd and be an automatic bid. So he's going down as one. He's one of the best discus throwers in school history. He's an excellent technician. I think he spent more time in the weight room, and the results were there. So all the good things that happened, us winning the discus at the state relays by 37 feet, I give Paul most of the credit. Come on up, Paul. It's been a pleasure to coach you. All right, being the genius that I am, Paul was also the co-MVP. Sorry, Paul, I should have said out loud. All right, and we did go co-MVP. I have 2 awards left, but it goes to the same person, an SEC All-Star and a co-MVP. As seniors leave, how are we going to replace these guys? We're not. But we'll find other people that are good in other events. This person's certainly the future of the team. We're going to build around him. Isaac, it's tough to explain. When you say he's a thrower, shot put, javelin, discus, they're not all the same. You can be a state-level shot put and be JV on the discus team. No one is good at all 3, except Isaac, maybe in the whole state. He's getting shy, so we're going to clap really loud for him. Going in, he had a little injury at the end of the season. It was just bad timing because he was going into the state meet as the top thrower in all of Division IV. He's one of the top throwers in the state, and I don't know if we'll ever coach a person that's as proficient in all 3 events as Isaac. He takes feedback well. I think he's an emerging leader on the team. So Isaac Tucker, come on up. SEC All-Star, co-MVP. All right, now the bad news. We used to have a small girls track team, and we'd be able to fly through the awards. We'd have 8 meets. If they went 0-8, it was kind of disappointing. If they went 1-7, it'd be okay. If they went 2-6, it was reason to throw a party. This year, they were 3-0, and they went against Seekonk for the South Coast, the small gold division championship. Seekonk has a national rated throw in all state runners, and we gave them all we could handle. They were the best team, but the girls went 3-1. The captains, the co-captains did a nice job. Meredith Cashel and Becca Pruitt. I don't know if they're nice captains or not. They're just such great people. They don't spend a lot of time trying to be good captains. They spend a lot of time being great people. And it's really affected the team. I'm old. I've had a lot of experience and opportunities. Coaching this girls' team this year was one of the best experiences of my life. They're as nice as can be. I could go on for hours about it. I won't. What I'm most impressed about is when they talk about each other and other girls in the school and other girls in the auditorium right now, it's always positive. There's one time they're talking, I said to Noah Coy, go listen, you won't believe it. Come back, when you hear something negative. He never came back. I'm really impressed because we're on the bus and they're talking about hair, makeup and stuff for the prom, and we're on the highway and I'm thinking of jumping out of the bus, and then they start talking about other kids. And they talk about other kids on other teams, and it's like, that girl's so nice, or she looked great at the prom, or she's smart, or she's funny. And then one of them said, well, I don't really know that kid. I'm like, here we go, finally, right? Teenage girls, we'll hit some dirt. And she said, but she seems really nice. No, so congratulations on all your accomplishments. But the biggest award you could be for being the nicest team, maybe in the history of sports. No, I'm a better person for coaching you, and I'm often sarcastic. This is not one of those times. All right. Let's see, SEC sportsmanship. I think another person who's going to be surprised, this person conducts themselves as very professional. If they're not going to be here right away, they know. They always let me know. They're a better thrower than they give themselves credit for. When she had an injury indoors and she couldn't throw, she ran. She was SEC qualifying the javelin. She's part of the, she joins Liz LePage and Rebecca Prue on being a javelin relay team that's a force at the state level. And Jaden says she's not that fast. When she runs the 100 on her own, and she's okay. She might not be that fast. When she runs for the team in a relay, she's really fast. She'll come back and we'll say, oh my God, we'll be watching saying, I didn't know Jaden was that fast, and that's who she is. When she's doing something for someone else, she'll always do better. So come on up, Jaden. Are you surprised, honey?
Yeah, really surprised. Thank you.
Congratulations. All right, I'm gonna jump to a coach's award right now. I had two young women join our sport, and they gave the team a boost. Instead of in the off season say, well, I don't even know what event I'm going to do, so how do I train? They train for every event. They're in the weight room every single day, and I had no idea how I was going to use these young ladies, but I knew whatever I had, they'd be ready for. She started out as a thrower, and she did a great job, I think particularly in the javelin. But I always say, Liz never met a relay she didn't like. She'd jump in the 4x1, the 4x4. Sometimes she'd run both. No one wants to run the 4x4. It's awful, but no one told her, so she still thinks it's fun, and she always volunteers. So she is coach's award recipient. And also, I don't know if she gets credit because she didn't do it here, but she was the MVP. Right, Bishop Staying hockey. All right, so let's give up for Liz LePage. Here we go. Sorry, she's faster on skates.
Thanks, Mr. Mitch. Thank you.
All right, SEC honorable mentions. The first one is a freshman. That means a lot right there. She's our best distance runner. She qualified for the state meet. And the SECs, again, a freshman. She was fourth in the 2-mile. She ran the 4x800. She's run 4x4s for us. And indoors, she got an award for being a good runner. She's getting an award for something different tonight, for being just one of the toughest runners you'll ever see. She's a nice young lady off the track, but in the last 50 yards, you should just pull over, let her go by. Because if you're ahead of her, she'll catch you. If she's ahead of you, you're not going to catch her. I've never seen someone win distance races or the relays by fractions of a second so many times. So in that time, at the last end of a race, it's not talent. It's a gut check. So she has tremendous heart. So come on up, Alyssa Storm. Congratulations. Again, their fault for winning so many awards. The next young lady, I went back and forth what award she deserved. I certainly knew she deserved an award, and every coach she's ever had in high school agrees with me. She's now won awards in 4 different sports. And I don't know what the record is for different sports, but when she leaves volleyball and joins soccer next year, we'll find out. And when Rachel transitions from basketball, I wasn't supposed to announce it today, on goes to indoor track. Rachel, her character, she's a leader. Any situation you put her in, she's a leader. After the season ended, she kept coming to my room. I didn't know if she knew the season was over. And she made the mistake of saying, do you need any help? Anyone that knows me needs a lot. No, I need a lot of help. So she was doing emails, anything she can to help the team. I didn't go with the coach's award, though, because everyone here knows she's a great kid. So giving that award wouldn't surprise anyone. I'm giving an award for being a very talented runner, working hard, setting the tone for the entire team between seasons, and picking a race, not what she wanted to do necessarily, but picking a race where the team needed her, which is a 400, which is a really difficult race. The biggest problem she had in the small division, no one touched her. We couldn't find people to push her. She didn't get at SEC. She was 4th, but she ran in the second heat. She destroyed them. We're like, just once, we'd like someone in front of her. She qualified for the SECs once when she ran a 390, fell on her face, got up, crawled over the finish line. Her time was still faster than most. She also was a great high jumper for us, and she triple jumped as well. So come on up, Rachel Davidson. Handshaking. That just happened. Oh, she's really popular. All right, next person was a co-captain. Again, my captains, I don't know if they think they're in charge. They just thought it was an opportunity to be nice to more people. If you ask, what does Rebecca do in track? It depends what season you ask me. She started off as an accomplished sprinter. Then we had some young sprinters come up, so she helped the team by moving to hurdlers throughout. She was a good long jumper. She's always helped in the relays. But this year, she's a javelin thrower, and it's tough for me to remember that she's not. She runs, she does everything for us, but she went to the state meet in the javelin and in the relay. And imagine running a lap outside as high as you can. It makes it worse when you throw in hurdles. Because of different hip issues this year, she really couldn't practice it. But when we needed the points, she would just run the 400 hurdles, which again is an awful race, and she did it all for the team. She helps with the uniform. She helps with so many things, and she's never, I think she helps just to help out. Anything she does as a captain, she would do if she wasn't a captain. And I think she really helped kind of change the culture of the team. So come on up, Rebecca Prue. Two more awards. Next year, I'll try not to coach such a successful team. All right, SEC All-Star, we've got 2 of them. One of them, she got it for 2 reasons. She's a 200 runner, exceptional. And she works really hard. She's an old school. She approaches it like a job. She's a professional. She never complains. She's at every single practice, and she works really, really hard. She was doing really well at the 200, and I don't think she got frustrated, but she kind of plateaued for a little bit, which you do. But how hard she was working, I knew there was going to be a good result. Even saying that, I was surprised when she broke the school record in the 200. And the relay, you know someone's good when other track stars stop to watch this kid run the relay. She gets a crowd when she's running the corner. It's something you can do or you can't do. Most people can't. She really can do it. And she looks like she shot out of a cannon. And I actually feel bad for the people she's running against because they have no chance. She has a love-hate relationship, I was going to say with myself, but also with the high jump. And she turned out jumping really well and qualifying for the SECs. And I can't overstate what an important part you are of the team. Come on up, Megan. All right, the next young lady, this might be the last time I speak about it. From now on, I'm just going to say get up here and get your award. It's the 4th consecutive season she's earned an MVP award, and she's won all conference as well. Honestly, when I try and write stuff down about her, I have to leave things out that would be other athletes' best day of their career. And there's amazing things she has done that I can't even mention. So I'll really quickly, SEC, she was second in 2 events, the 100 and the triple jump. Again, that means 9 other teams can only find 1 kid that could be beat this sophomore. In sports, it's just not about coaching kids. It's about life lessons and being a good role model. And she's been an excellent role model for me. I feel like I'm much more polite now and much more kinder to other people. In the state meet, she got 9th and 10th in her event. The big one, though, of all the stuff, the day that really got me is the freshman, sophomore statewide meet. You have to qualify just to get there. And she always asks me, how do I get in the finals? And I'm like, that's pretty ambitious of you. There's about 100 qualifiers today. And when she ran, instead of thinking, good start, oh, she's finally using her arms, and she ran through the finish, I knew it was a great time. I had no idea it was way under the school record, which it was. And I was trying to think, how do I feel? And I cheered for her a little bit loudly, and the person next to me said, oh my God, you get to coach her. And that's exactly how I felt that day. I felt the same at the state meet when she broke the school record again. I've never seen a track athlete have so many fans at this meet. I told her there's some person asking about me, you know, it's a fan, the officials are talking about her. And then the person that was standing next to me so excited, and she said, yeah, I know, the person talked to me, they were very polite, came up to me and said, can I just introduce myself to her? And she said, oh, that's not the person, that's another fan. So wherever we go, officials who are known for being busy and grumpy take time out to talk to her, and opponents that she runs against and beats, their parents compliment us. So if I talk about what a great athlete she is, we'll be here till 11 o'clock at night. If I talk about what a great person she is, we'll be here till July. So Meredith, just come on up.
Thank you, Mr. Mitchell. Now, before we bring up our next presenter, I'd also like to highlight something else that happened in our winter season as one of our great highlights of the year. Our track team won the Division IV relay, state championship Division IV relay in the wintertime, which is a phenomenal accomplishment by them. So congratulations with that. And we also have, as we're building momentum within our athletic program, and especially in our track and field program, we're breaking ground starting on Monday, the 18th, with our new track, which will be, which there are many, many people in this room that were very influential with that being approved. Also, a special thanks to the taxpayers for helping us out with that. We're very excited about the possibility of, again, hosting home meets, hosting South Coast Conference type events, and possibly some state events down the road. The project is 8 weeks. Keeping my fingers crossed that it's 8 weeks. It could be a little bit longer if there's delays. But like I said, the groundbreaking is going to be on Monday the 18th, and I'm hoping that everything is concluded, wrapped up, and ready to go for the beginning of our 2018 fall season. So again, thank you very much for those individuals who had such a helping hand in that. We are more than excited to get that rolling. Our next presenter is our baseball coach, Jay Ameren.
Thank you. First and foremost, I would just like to thank Athletic Director Chris Foley, Mr. McCann, Mr. Costa, and Russ Boardman for their support all year. This was my first year as baseball coach here at Case High School. I didn't really have many expectations coming into what was a struggling program at the time. The guys didn't know what to expect from me, and I certainly didn't know what to expect from them, but I can say that I was pleasantly surprised. We built our season on hard work and determination. Every day we came in and challenged the players, and they responded. It was awesome to watch. They bought into what we were preaching, and it really showed. We finished the regular season with a 12-8 record. We lost in the first round of the playoffs to Bourne, to a heartbreaker, but that's just the way baseball is. So we have a couple awards that we want to give out tonight. First award is the SEC Sportsmanship Award. This is going to a player who didn't play all the time, but his effort and his determination didn't waver one bit. Keegan LeCompte. So our next award is a player that had to play through some injuries most of the year, but didn't stop him from working hard and getting better every day. He batted over 300, had a fairly good fielding percentage, was our shortstop and our leader on the defensive side of the ball, Ross Audette. Our next award goes to one of our two seniors. Jeremy Tibitot gets the Coach's Award as well as honorable mention. I get nothing. So our next award goes to our second senior. Devin was my microphone to the team. If I needed to get a message to the team, the best way I found to do it was through Devin. He had everybody's ear. He was a leader all over the place. Second Coach's Award is Devin Prue. So the last award that we have is our one and only Conference All-Star. He was our ace pitcher all year. He had a couple tough losses, but he pitched against the toughest competition we had. If we do it all over again, I'd keep him out there in the 7th inning of the last game, just so he knows that. All-Star, Logan Sherratt. Thank you.
That balanced you right out, Bob. That was fantastic. So, all right, again, before we bring up our last presenter of this evening and then announcing the male and female athlete of the year, I'd like to give that reminder. If you are award winner, Team MVP, Coaches Awards, SEC All-Star Honorable Mentions, Sportsmanships, please make sure that you stay. Again, we're going to assemble our awards pictures up in this area. I know that George Austin is once again kind enough to cover our event. So we're going to try to transition this as quickly as possible to get people in and out. And also make sure that you see the head coaches for letters and pins at the conclusion of the banquet. We're actually going to do that portion in the back. Actually right in that little entryway or even in the main foyer, just to get some of the traffic out of the room so we can take the pictures up front. So our last presenter this evening is our softball coach, Michaela Gonzalez.
All right, last one. There are many people to thank for helping make the season what it's been thus far, and I owe a lot of gratitude to a variety of individuals, so bear with me. I know it's the last presentation, as I do my best to let those individuals know how important they are to myself and to our team. First of all, I'd like to thank Mr. Robidoux, Mr. McCann, Mr. Costa, Mr. Crisafulli, Friends of the Cardinals for their support, for making all of this possible, and for giving me the opportunity to coach this incredible group of girls right in the front row and second row here. Thank you to Mr. Boardman for keeping our team healthy, or as healthy as possible. His care for our student athletes is something we can't really repay him for. He's an unsung hero. Thank you to the parents who support our team through it all and for instilling in your daughters the values they need to be a part of our selfless-based, team-first culture. I would also like to thank the supportive staff and students in the Swansea school system who follow our team, come to games, tweet out positive things about our team, ask the girls and myself in school about how things are going with the team. It really means a lot to have such a caring and supportive community around us. And to the other coaches and sports programs, thank you for playing with pride and, to keep the Case Pride fire burning within our school. It's awesome walking around and seeing everybody excited about what they do. It's an honor to teach here and coach here. I'd like to thank my assistant coach, Julie Plant, for her dedication to our program. She works extremely well with the girls. She's really good at making sure that they're as confident as possible, and that's key in this sport. So you really help to bring out the best in each player, so thank you for that. I'd like to thank our volunteer coach, Roger Cretion, who he's there for the team day in and day out. He brings a different perspective, he brings knowledge, he does the book for us, calculates the stats, and he keeps the girls happy with gummy bears and chocolates. So thank you for all that you do for us, Roger. Appreciate it. Next, I want to truly thank all 21 players in the softball program. Your commitment, pride, and hard work have gotten us to where we are today. Balancing academics, athletics, and work for many of you is not an easy task, so I thank you for the energy you still saved for softball and to make the most of each day. Each day we strive for excellence, and we grew tremendously as a result. We spent a lot of time on the psychological aspect of the game, mental toughness, how to deal with adversity, craving competition, being better than the day before, and valuing the daily grind and embracing that. And so beyond the softball field, I know that these girls are learning lessons that will make them better people in life. And we say that softball is kind of the foundation, it's a portal, and we learn how to be successful people. And I'm grateful to be able to work with these young women every day. To our 3 seniors, Autumn, Fallon, and Kylie, thank you for all the good that you have done for this team. Your leadership set the tone for the culture of this team. The 3 of you perfectly balanced the ability to get your teammates to work hard and have fun at the same time. I want to wish you luck in your future endeavors, and please know that you'll always be a part of the Case softball family. All the players in the program carry a vital role in our team's operation as a unit. With our team-first mentality, each player could be individually recognized for doing something that benefited the team, but with limited awards, the coaching staff and I had to pick players that stuck out to us as consistently going above and beyond to help the team. So firstly, the Sportsmanship Award will go to a player that always puts the team before herself. I always say that good things happen to good people, and this person came up big for us last night versus Coyle and Cassidy. She drove in multiple runs. She saved a play from going wrong, as she has done many times over the course of the year. She does all the small things that some might not notice. Her work ethic and good character make her a dream to coach. She's selfless. She suits up every game to warm up one of our pitchers, even though she has not played catcher in a game in a couple years. Her commitment to our team and her ability to balance top-level academics and athletics for 3 seasons makes her a great role model. Coaching her the last 4 years and watching her grow as a person and a player has been a true pleasure. Thank you for your selflessness, and congratulations to Kylie LeCompte. The next award I have is an SEC honorable mention. This player has improved tremendously on her offense over the years by dedicating a lot of focus and time to fixing the little things. She has done the same defensively and is, in my opinion, the best third baseman I've seen in the whole state. Her ability to snag hot shots and complete textbook bunt coverage day in and day out has kept runners off the bases for our opponents all season long. She stays focused through practices and games and is truly a fierce competitor. Beyond that, she's a great leader in helping to refocus the team and draw energy from them. As a captain, she always made sure that her teammates were doing what they needed to be doing. You can't measure that as a statistic, but it was so important to keeping the selfless, hardworking culture of this team. So I really want to thank you for taking your role seriously and for everything else you do for our team. Congratulations, Autumn Majerus. The next individual will be receiving SEC honorable mention and one of the 2 coaches awards. This player is the definition of coachable. When giving her constructive criticism, this player never responds with an excuse or a reason as to why she did something wrong. She always smiles and says, "Okay," and she works harder next time. She never has to be told to push herself harder. And if there were no coaches at practice, this player would still go all out for everything and be the positive person that she always is, because that's her character. She always leaves 100% effort on the field. She hustles everywhere. And her work ethic and always making sure she does the right thing, it's transferred into games, as she came up huge for us many times in the field. She made a diving catch versus Somerset to send us to extra innings where we eventually won. She made an amazing catch last night to end the inning. She always makes sure things are set up before practice, even if it isn't her duty that day, and always checks that things are all set before leaving. She puts the team's needs first and is an incredible role model for all student athletes, as she takes academics very seriously as well. And coaching her is just so much fun because she has such an awesome attitude. Congratulations, Allie Feelhauer. So, like Coach Mitchell was saying, you only have limited amount of spots in an SEC All-Star meeting, and I'd like to make an important note that there's only 16 spots for All-Stars with 10 teams fighting for a spot. Some schools are putting in 3-4 players, as nominations, so you can do the math and figure out that it's not easy to become an SEC All-Star. Also noteworthy is that 7 of the 10 teams in our conference made the tournament, which again adds to the difficulty to get multiple players on the All-Star team. The next player receiving awards, she's an All-Star in the SEC, and she's the other coaches award. She's a true competitor, and she'll do whatever she needs to help the team succeed. I don't think I've ever met a tougher kid. She motivates those around her to work harder every day. Her energy in the dugout is non-stop, even though her position requires a lot of energy from her. She supports her teammates, talks to teammates who may have had a bad day, her decision-making. She takes accountability for her actions. And she even takes accountability for others sometimes just to push herself harder. She doesn't let herself get down if she isn't playing to the best of her ability because she knows she needs to be positive for her teammates. All those things helped our team. They continue to help our team in many ways that a scorebook can't show. Of course, she also helps us with her softball talent. Defensively, she prevents many runners from taking extra bases with her blocking skills. She's part of every pitch, as she calls the game based on the strengths and weaknesses of the batter. She keeps our pitchers calm and helps them have confidence in themselves. She's a very selfless player. Offensively, she leads the team in RBIs. She's currently batting almost like .425. She believes in herself in key moments, as evidenced last night. So thank you for your leadership, your work ethic, your awesome attitude. You don't meet many people as influential as her in your life, let alone get to coach them. So for that, I am extremely blessed. So congratulations to our junior captain, Maddie Medeiros. Our last player receiving an award tonight is our MVP. This player has played a key role in our program for the past 4 years. She has been our backbone offensively and defensively this season. Although she missed more than a third of our season due to an injury, she helped the team in other ways when she was sidelined to help set things up, get players focused, ready for games, help the outfielders in their drills, even though she couldn't actively play a part in them. Without her in our lineup, we struggled against some teams that we had previously done well against. Her presence in the field is one that exudes confidence and competitiveness. At leadoff and as a speedy power lefty, her versatility makes her potent at the plate. Will she bunt? Will she slap? Will she drive one 260 feet over your head? Who knows? It makes her very effective, as she has the highest batting average on our team. She's currently hitting .517, and she also has the most hits despite missing 7 games. Defensively, she robs opponents of what look to be sure shot doubles or triples with her incredible read and range. She guns down players who dare to test her arm. Her leadership as a captain is something I am extremely grateful for. She has a good work ethic and gets others to do the same. Many high school students are timid to tell teammates what needs to be done, but this player understands that it's her job to get the team on track, and that as a captain, she needs to do just that. Her bird family never needed to be told or reminded about equipment or to clean the fields. She was always on top of it. And it's little things like that on top of all the other great things that she's done for this team that make her this season's MVP. Thank you for all you do, and congratulations, Fallon Marchand. And just thank you once again. And I know it was a long program, but thank you for staying with me. And thanks for everybody who made this season what it's been. And we hope to see you at Taunton High School, 5 o'clock on Friday night, as we play for the South Sectional Championship. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Coach. As she mentioned, the girls do play on Friday at Taunton High School at 5 p.m., and we'd love to have a very supportive crowd, as we always do. So I encourage you to make every effort to attend. So we've come to the part of the program now where we will award 2 athletes, the Female Athlete of the Year and the Male Athlete of the Year. I think it's very important to share with you what our voting process is before we bring these 2 individuals up. About 2 weeks ago, I sent out a message to all of our head coaches asking for nominations for both male and female. Over the course of that time period, coaches send in nominations along with accomplishments, things that the kids have accomplished, whether it's awards, why they feel an individual is deserving. And when the deadline comes, I bring them all in. I distribute the nominations to our coaches for a vote. Each head coach gets 1 vote for male and 1 vote for female. So that is the process that we continue to follow. It's been very, very successful over the 6 years that I've overseen it. So the first Athlete of the Year that we will recognize is Female Athlete of the Year. This individual was a three-sport student athlete. This individual played girls soccer, indoor track, and outdoor track. What was most impressive in my eyes as far as accomplishments go, this individual was the MVP of their soccer team, of their indoor track team, of their outdoor track team. She was also an all-star, SEC all-star, in all three of those sports. And that's rarely seen these days, especially as it seems as though the three-sport athlete is starting to go away. But this individual is a sophomore. She has broken numerous school records, and we look forward to her competing for us over the next 2 years. Our 2017-18 Female Athlete of the Year is sophomore Meredith Castro. Congratulations. Okay, moving on to our male athlete of the year. This gentleman was also a three-sport student athlete here. He lettered in football all 4 years of his career. I still remember back to the day that Coach Palladino had a conversation with his parents as to how they felt about him starting as a freshman on the field. And again, luckily, we got the okay for that, and he's been a fantastic contributor to our program since that day. This individual also played basketball this year. He also has played indoor track, and he was an intricate part of our turnaround in boys baseball this year, being a 4-year member of the baseball team. As I mentioned, he has won letters in the three sports, along with indoor track. What I think and feel is most impressive about this individual is, over the last summer, he was involved in an injury accident on a field, contributing and participating on one of our sponsored summer league football leagues that we participate in. It was a pretty gruesome injury, and he was able to persevere through that, be able to get back onto the field, not miss much time, and be a great contributor to what was probably the most successful football team we've had here, since the early 90s, and playing in a game that, again, mattered into the South Coast Conference Gold Championship. So our 2017-18 Male Athlete of the Year is senior Jeremy Tibitot. Okay, as I mentioned, please make sure that our individuals come up to get their letters and their pins. Actually, I'm sorry, we'll do that in the back. Our award winners, if we can, I'm going to get the microphone out. It'll be a little bit easier with the transition, so call award winners up, how George wants that to be done, and we'll get it done. So congratulations, have a fantastic night, and enjoy your summer.